I've seen them
You
all.
watched all three? Now,
Watched all three.
um, I think we both probably have the same favorite episode. I think everybody has the same favorite episode.
Oh, this
I
will be
want to know what's
interesting.
your favorite. What's your favorite?
Um, my favorite of the three, I really like the third one a lot.
Oh, ooh,
I really like the third one a lot, but my favorite's the first one.
whoa.
Yeah, I love
Okay, I like that.
that one
That's
because
my least favorite.
it's it's anime. I love the animation works so well with the
Yeah.
action sequences, and I've always liked Peggy Carter. I didn't like her
Okay.
show; it kind of sucked, but that was a writing thing and a directing thing.
I like it.
But I really enjoy the character of Peggy Carter, so I really liked um, that that first episode because that's a time frame. You know, I rate my enjoyment of the films by my rewatchability, and First Avenger is never one that I rewatch
Really?
all that often. But when I do, I
Wow.
really enjoy it. I really enjoy that movie. So I liked being back in that world, and I loved it. I thought the action sequences were great. All the character voice acting was great. I really liked the story, nice, tight, compact. I think it's far superior than the other two.
That's
Um,
insane.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's not insane. It's just it's insane because like I thought like the polar opposite. Like I thought like the biggest thing with that episode was the pacing. The pacing. There was
Mm,
something off about the pacing in that episode where Devin was the one that worded it. It felt like a previously on. Like it almost felt like this was
interesting.
previously on catching you up and not its
Yeah.
own thing. Because the
Mm,
animation, the fight scenes, even the score, I like how they kind of like it's almost like they merged the first Avenger score with the Kingsman score.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
even
yeah.
though it has nothing to do with like
Did
Kingsman, it just kind of sounded like that and like the British stuff. But my biggest thing with that was that the voice actors in it, like the ones that were there, like Chris Evans not being there, he had a big role in that one. So that really
yeah.
threw me off when that wasn't him. Another thing that
Mm,
really threw me off, she was bigger than him before that. She's like 4 times his size now. Again, what I was saying about Superman 2,
yep.
you would break that boy in half. You would split him like a log. I mean, Jesus
True.
Christ, man. I was scared. I was scared when I was watching it. Like, oh my God, this is a huge woman that's just beautiful and strong and like,
She was a
please
monster.
crush me. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. I mean, that's the way. If you gotta go, that's the way to go.
Um, and I thought that Red Skull, like some of the Red Skull stuff, they showed us a scene that was in the movie, like where he finds the Tesseract. It's like
Yeah,
we
where
know
he
he
finds the Tesseract.
like and the progress. This is a thing that I have a problem with all the episodes, just because let's might as well go one, two, three.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, the logical progression. I feel like
Hmm.
the show itself, the way that the show is advertised is false advertised because the
Yes.
what if, like the nexus point that they're
Hmm.
advertising as the nexus point, it can't be because
No.
there's too many other things that are a leap that would have had to come into play before that. Like Bradley Whitford.
Yeah.
Bradley Whitford's in the one shot that Agent Carter one shot, and he's great in it. Like you're lucky to be in the room, and that's kind of like
Hmm.
what we were pitched that the Agent Carter show is going to be. Like it's going to be Agent Carter finding Shield. That's not what it ended up being.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
but they just sidestepped Tommy Lee Jones. Bradley Whitford wasn't even in the room.
No.
So like that Nexus event has to come before that, and like the way that Bucky's acting, the way that Howard's act, just the way some of the characters are acting. That's one thing that bothers me, and I can get over it because now I know like that's just not what the show is. It's a lie that they're pitching the show off of.
Hmm.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being
Yeah.
lied to as long as it's like clear. Like okay,
Yeah.
you're because especially with uh the second one, all my problems that I had with the first episode were gone in the second one because it didn't feel like a retread. It didn't feel like we had been here before. I think my one problem with like the second episode, which is my favorite of them all, if you're okay with moving on to the second one,
Oh
the
yeah,
same.
yeah. Let's move on to second.
Um, the voice cast in the second one, for the most part, other than I think Chris Pratt at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the episode, it's all like those voice actors, and it's enough of an original story where it's kind of like this heist thing that we didn't see in any of the movies, like the Guardians movies where they're trying to steal the embers of Genesis, which I
Yeah.
mean, come on, you totally stole that from Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Uh, it's the Genesis device from Wrath of Khan. We even have Seven of Nebula, which I
Mm-hmm.
really liked.
Which was cool.
Yondu is great in this episode. T'Challa is so basically what this episode tells us is that Chris Pratt was a terrible Star Lord. Peter Quill, terrible Star Lord,
Yeah.
and this is where I get to the logical progression part because Thanos kind of ruins the episode for me. Like it's funny,
Yes.
he do some cool stuff, but that is not a logical progression of that character.
No.
That is not a logical
No.
progression. Korath. Korath was a disciple of
Yep.
Ronan. Like he wasn't. He says that he's his boss. Like, oh God, that no,
Yeah.
you do not understand these characters.
Yeah.
And they did say that Marvel and Kevin Feige said just do whatever you want for the
Whatever
most
you
part.
want. Yeah.
Where they did not do any sort. Well, this character wouldn't do this character didn't do this, and I wish there was a little bit more of that because the logical
Mm-hmm.
progression that I was talking about in the first episode, it's horrible in the second episode. But as long as you can get rid of that and just like sidestep that and then watch it, it's like okay, this is a cool
Yeah.
thing. We have T'Challa and Yondu and Nebula and Thanos as like this new Guardians of the Galaxy and Taserface. Come on, man! You ever think
And
we were gonna
Taserface.
see Taserface again?
We got
But what did you think
Taserface.
of the second episode with Taserface?
Well, this is we're polars because Guardians are my favorite two
Yeah,
films of the MCU. Period. Guardians
we
and Volume
both
Two are
love
my favorite
Guardians.
MCU. Yeah,
Yeah,
Guardians are my favorite films. So so it was harder for me to digest the
yeah,
drastic change of these characters and to just crap all over Star Lord like that. I went,
yeah. On the
nah,
hill.
man, Star Lord's my
Dude.
man. So and I just I wasn't falling in love with it. So the pacing for me in
Yeah.
this one was a lot more plotting because it's this is okay.
Hmm.
Um, so I really didn't like this episode very much.
Wow.
I have to watch it again because my son hasn't seen it yet and he wants to watch it.
Mhm.
So we're gonna watch it together, and I
All
want to
hail
see if I
man.
take that out of that preconceived notion of
Yeah,
this is not my Guardians. This is
yeah,
obviously something very very different.
yeah,
Because I just hated the way that Thanos would
yeah.
everything we know about
No,
Thanos, and now he's
Thanos.
just this bartender guy.
I gotta be honest.
um,
I was
yeah,
watching it through. First time I watched it through, I shut it off there. I shut it off there. I'm like, I don't need to watch this now. I'll watch it with Devin
yeah,
later. And then when I like picked it up and watched it with Devin later, after like that had set in, like they're not
mm-hmm,
doing the logical progression. This is not what they said it was. I was
yeah,
okay with it. I think
and
you'll
that might
like it a
change
lot.
my
Yeah,
I think that might
you're right.
change my
It's not
perspective of it.
Thanos.
Yeah, it's not
He's
Thanos. It's not
a guy that
Nebula.
burned
I
his
did like the
daughter to commit
yeah, I
genocide.
liked some aspects. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just thought there was too many things, and I'll be really honest with you. My least favorite of all the MCU films is Black Panther.
You've said that
Uh,
before.
yeah, I've said it before
And this is where
because I
Alan
think it's
is leaving the show tonight, guys.
yeah.
How dare
Nice
you?
seeing you.
It's the
Bye bye.
king. Let's
Um,
show some respect for the king,
I,
man.
no, I respect the fact that it's Chadwick Boseman's last
Uh,
vocal performance.
what did you
And
think of
much
the
love, all
voice?
love to Chadwick. Chadwick's one of the greatest actors.
Yeah.
Was all the greatest actors. R.I.P. to that man. Greatest actors ever. He played two of the most iconic African American
Mhm.
heroes to our nation.
Check it
So
out.
he
Agree.
and James Brown, yes,
James
and
Brown,
Thurgood Marshall. So he
Thurgood
played
Marshall, yeah.
so he played three. And
Shout.
just an amazing actor. I love
Mm.
and I love. See, my Black Panther movie is Civil War. That's my
Okay,
Black
yeah.
Panther movie
But
because
because the
him
suit
in
just
Civil
better.
War was beautiful and incredible and awesome and
But you
told a
didn't like him in this.
very great story. What's that?
Did you like him in this? Like I cut you off. I didn't mean to.
I didn't like him because I don't think they dealt with his they lied to him in a way that they said
Yeah,
that your kingdom, your people were not looking for you. They were not, and I don't
Wakanda's
think
dead.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
yeah, I think he would have dealt that character that we
Yeah,
know would have dealt with that very very differently. So
and that goes
I
back
just
to the
didn't
pacing.
like it. I just didn't like the way they were doing that character. Because I love Black Panther. Black Panther's always been one of my favorite characters. I think the movie suffers from atrocious CGI and atrocious
Does.
direction. Um, so
Ooh,
I think yeah, I think it's a terribly
Kugler's
directed
gonna
film.
get in the ring with
Yeah,
you, bro.
well, I
Ding
mean,
ding.
Kugler Kugler did a hell of a job with the first Creed,
Right?
but really that's about it. That's all I'll give him.
I'm so frustrated with
Um,
his approach to like the whole T'Challa thing. Like I
I,
think I
yeah,
just think you need to that character. You need to that he did it. He did it. He did what everybody is talking about. Do like bridge the gap. Like
yeah.
they're the most racially insensitive white people in the world that I know that enjoyed that movie.
Oh,
That
yeah.
enjoyed that movie. And it wasn't just, "Oh, I loved Martin Freeman in that movie." They gotta make more movies with Martin Freeman.
Put more
They were
Martin Freeman in
really
it.
connecting with
Put
the
more of the
character
Hobbit in there.
of T'Challa, and I just think that that's something that even if you let him
I
keep,
think the
he
world
inspired me
building.
about this episode. Yeah,
I think the world building in Black Panther is astounding.
yeah,
The costumes, the greatest costumes, the technology, all that stuff,
mm,
fantastic. I even appreciated the mixing of the spiritual with
mhm,
the reality. I
yeah.
love all the stuff once he goes into sees his father. I really enjoy all that stuff. To be honest with you, um, I really like the world building. I just think the parts that really hurt that movie were the fight scenes, the action sequences, and the CGI. Just oh god, it was really
I
hard to
think
watch. So, but I like the world building. So I would like to see the next Black Panther film.
yeah, because you'll
I'm
still have
interested
that
to see
world
that
there.
because I like the
I just
world,
hope they don't
and I'm
kill him off.
interested in this Wakanda Forever,
Yeah,
or this Wakanda show that they're probably putting to Disney Plus. I'm really interested in
that
that.
seems like it's gonna be
Um,
like a prequel series almost. Like it's almost gonna be ancient Wakanda, which really fascinates me.
yeah, I don't know if that fascinates me so much
Yeah.
because I'm so interested, and because we got that
Oof.
story.
Yeah.
The biggest problem
God.
I have with the movie too is at the end of the movie of a Black Panther, they're we're gonna share our technology with the world. We already did that in
The world
Civil
doesn't
War.
deserve it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
In
they already
Civil
did
War,
it in
you
Civil
get
War. So I want to
now.
see that. I want to see how that happens. What happens next? I want to see
I
that.
just, I just think
So
they're like doing the biggest disservice to themselves, saying they're not going to recast because the guy that like I would have play T'Challa, he's right there. He's right there. It's Michael B. Jordan. I just have him play T'Challa. I wouldn't do any multiversal explanation or anything like that. You recast
just
him
have him
fun.
play.
You just have him like do the T'Challa haircut, have him in the suit. When he's in the suit and he adapts his voice to do that accent, I'm
But
telling
that's
you,
the problem.
it'll.
Jordan can't
Oh,
do that accent. Michael B. Jordan
maybe
cannot do that
I
accent.
want to see if he can. But what gave me
He
hope
can't.
about this episode, especially of the what if, is that if they wanted to spin this off into its own animated series, like just
They
have
could.
this T'Challa and just
This
the way
crew,
that you could
yeah.
do it with that is get a voice impressionist to do the voice that he did in this. You could have the character of T'Challa live on like this because that was the thing about the. I love Black Panther. I just loved this like Star Lord version of Black Panther
Of
so
Black
much
Panther.
more because he was so charismatic. He got to shine. Like
Yeah,
that's
he
that's
did get
my
to
biggest
shine.
problem with Black Panther is that Black Panther's kind of that he's very mellow in the Black Panther
He's
movie.
mopey.
He doesn't
He's
do
mopey
much.
sometimes.
Yeah, but like he doesn't. He's very. I don't even want to say one note because he's not one note. It's almost
He's not.
the story for him is one note. He doesn't get to shine.
That's the thing.
Like, I like
And
to see
that's
him
why I
shine.
like Black
He get to
Panther
shine in
better
Civil
in
War.
Civil War
Yeah,
and in Infinity War
yeah.
because you see his
No,
intention,
man.
and Chadwick Boseman
Oh,
was such an amazing actor that the smallest moments,
yeah.
that last scene with him and Zemo in Civil
Yeah,
War, that brings me to tears, because
yeah,
he's no, 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 the world's not done with you yet. it's whoa, you see he go through all this amazing stuff,
Yeah.
and it's a quiet scene, nice scene, and that
My
by far to me shows you just gotta have a good director,
yeah.
that knows how to handle those moments because you already got the actor. Well, we don't anymore, unfortunately, but you've got the actor to do it, and Bozeman, whew, is fantastic.
My my
Or
biggest
was
problem ever
fantastic.
with Black Panther
Rest in peace.
is especially Infinity War, and this goes back to the Civil War thing too. Civil War, that Black Panther suit looks, mwah.
Oh,
You could
perfect.
touch that, like you could touch
Yep,
that, and you could feel
it's
like the
real.
woven vibranium on it. Like I could
Yep.
feel it just by looking at it. Fast forward to Infinity War, they forget to CGI the suit. Like they have the suit that he wears, like the spandex thing that he wears on set,
Hmm.
and they forget to like CGI over it, like they forget to touch it up.
Yeah.
So there's like
Touch it up.
2 or 3 like cuts where they go to him, and it's just the flattest looking thing ever, and you see
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
wrinkles in it, and I'm just like,
Yep.
oh no,
Yeah.
no, it looks
And
so
then
good before. What are you doing?
when he's running in Endgame,
Ugh.
when he's got the gauntlet and is
It's
running,
better in
there's a
Endgame. It's
couple,
a little bit better in Endgame.
but not by much. There's a
Yeah,
couple scenes
not
where
by
it's,
much, not by
oh
much,
god, that looks
but it's
so
just
bad,
it's
my
at least
bad.
more
But
consistent. It's at least more
yeah,
consistent. Yeah.
and
It looks
but
like
that
Mountain
was a
there is a
good
CGI
cheer.
man.
Yeah, yeah. That looks like a great cheer moment when we hear
Yeah.
Sam's voice in Endgame
Oh,
in
good.
in Steve's ear, and then we see him T'Challa come through,
And he just nods.
and they just
Yeah.
give that little nod, and it's
Mm,
all right. Here we go. The cavalry's arrived. Help's on the way. So
Avengers
that's a
Assemble.
it's a great moment,
Yeah.
and I just think there weren't any of those moments in. I mean,
So,
the person who got the best moment in Black Panther was
where?
Warmonger, or
Oh,
what's his
Killmonger? Kill.
Killmonger.
Yeah, Killmonger.
His
Which is
closing
what is
statement,
coming up.
leave me at the bottom of the
Yeah.
sea. That was the best
Oof.
moment in Black Panther.
Yeah. Oh, I love it when
It
he's
was.
in the throne room. He's like, I'm exercising my blood right. Like I love that scene too. Like, cause yeah, he's. We could talk about Black Panther all day because he is the
Yeah,
best
but
part. Him and Okoye. I think Okoye really.
Koya is,
She's gonna carry
um,
that sequel for me because I mean,
yes,
she's an Avenger.
she's
Like
amazing.
she fights Thanos
She
twice.
fights Thanos
No,
twice.
no problem. And she's with them in
She
the
has
5
some of the
years.
greatest moments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
she's a
we
fantastic character, so we need her a
we
lot.
gotta stay on target. Aaron's gonna kill me for not staying on
I know,
target.
right? So we'll go
Third
to the
what if
third.
episode, murder
What if
mystery, big time galore. And this one, they
I
don't
really
even
liked
tell
it?
you what the Nexus point is until the end of the
No,
episode. So we
yeah,
are
yeah.
getting spoilers here. So the Nexus event for this one, and I do think if
Hmm.
you do play it back to like that, with an exception of 1 or 2 characters in this, that the whole what if Hope Van Dyne was a Shield agent.
Yeah,
That I
yeah.
like. That I like.
That I
Because
like.
she would
That I
have
like a
died.
lot.
Hank
Yeah.
would have gone insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that I did not put any of that together. It was a nice little murder mystery that I didn't put any of it together. I didn't figure it out until
Oh, you didn't?
the moment, the reveal. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went, oh, that's so
I
great.
thought it was.
Um,
I honestly, I thought
um,
it was Wasp, but then when they revealed it
yeah,
was Hank Pym as
yeah.
Yellow Jacket, I
Yellow
was like,
Jacket.
fuck yeah! I have a
It was
poster
cool.
on my
That was a
wall in
cool
the living
moment.
room that has all the Hank Pym characters. It has Ultron, it has Giant Man, it has Ant Man, and
Nice.
it has Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket, the one that beat his wife and damaged Hank Pym's
And
legacy so that
yep.
he's not the lead Ant Man in these movies. That's why. That's the reason,
Yeah, that's
right?
why. Yeah.
That's why Hank Pym isn't the lead Ant-Man in the MCU, was because his character never recovered from that.
You
So
couldn't
we get
recover. You
that
couldn't
version of
recover.
Hank Pym here, and
Yeah,
it's great.
and he's
So
crazy, and
yeah,
he's awesome.
and he's
And I
fighting
love
ugly.
that we went back to Incredible Hulk, the forgotten MCU
Yeah,
movie, right?
and it's
We go
Mark
back to those
Ruffalo.
scenes. Yep, we get Betty, which I loved.
Betty. I love
Having
Betty.
Betty in there, I really enjoyed. So I like this one, and I think when I watch it again, it might creep to my favorite.
Yeah,
And we
because
get
I
Coulson
hated
back because
my
that's one
biggest
thing that
problem with the
kind of
episode is
bugged
Coulson.
me.
Yeah,
I bugged me a little bit, just a tiny
he just
bit, about
casually
Infinity War
bisexual
and
stuff.
Endgame is we couldn't bring Coulson back. What's up? Because
Oh
he's
yeah,
back
no, yeah.
technically. Yeah.
With the Shield stuff. Did you watch Agents of Shield
I watched the first season.
first season? Me and my
Yeah.
father and Devin's been doing this with one of his friends. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
fell off of that show, like, after the
Yeah.
first season. Jump back on it
Yeah.
because I'm telling you, it's a Star Trek show, in the MCU.
With Shield characters.
Like
Yeah.
that's how anybody who's a Star Trek fan, like that I meet, I say watch Agents of Shield because it's the best Star Trek show that isn't a Star Trek show.
That isn't a
Like,
Star Trek
they
show.
have the captain, they have the engineer, they have the doctor, that you have your tactical officers. Like everything in that show just like screams Star Trek to me sometimes.
Nice.
And they even go into space at one point. So that yeah,
Cool.
but that's kind of what bothered me about the Coulson joke, because like he's just casually by now, like he's like, oh, Thor, he's gorgeous, because there are scenes in Ages of Shield where they talk about Thor, and Coulson even mentions like, well, yeah, he's handsome, but I mean, and Melinda May no one's like, no, he's gorgeous.
He's
So
gorgeous.
Coulson saying that he's gorgeous, that just kind of threw me off, and that's the logical progression thing that I'm talking about, where
Yeah.
it's just, and the Steve, I heart Steve thing with the past. He wasn't even out of the ice yet. Come on, that wouldn't
Right?
be his password when he's not even out of the ice. I know he collects Captain America trading cards, but still, I collect Pokemon cards. I collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm not playing with those now. They're not my password. But you know, if whatever the hell his name, Obelisk the Tormentor, walks out into the real world, you damn right I'm gonna ask him to sign my trading cards. But he's not my Google password right there. But
Right?
once I found out it was like, oh, they're going with a murder mystery. This is supposed to be a murder mystery. I was on board for it because when it was just kind of you're following Black Widow at first, like
Mm-hmm.
the first 15 minutes, that again, the voice acting, she didn't do a bad Black Widow voice. It just really it disconnects me when everybody else is
It's
the
the
actor
original
that they
voice.
are,
Yeah.
and they're going 100%. Which Loki in this episode, this is the Loki I wanted.
Yeah.
Yes. Like
Yeah.
he's milking every word. And even though half of the lines are lines that he's already said before, it's great. Like the speech that he gives at the end, where he gives the speech at the United Nations and is playing on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
The speech from Avengers,
Yep.
and they show it on Loki. Like, you were made to be
Yeah.
ruled. Like he just says the word. It's the same thing with that glorious purpose speech. He said that speech three
Yeah.
or four times now, but every time he says it with a
It's
little
great.
bit more like gravitas each time with
Yeah.
different spots. So this episode I really like, just for specifically for those two reasons, that we got Loki, the Loki that I wanted to see, and
Mm-hmm.
evil Hank Pym.
Evil Hank, Yellow Jacket. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
thought it was because I had seen Janet's face when they were looking at the
Mm.
files two or three times before, and when they said
Uh.
I'm not the only Avenger left, I thought they were talking about Janet, because Janet's
Uh.
face comes up when they're looking at the
Pops up.
files for the Avengers Initiative. So I thought it was going to be Janet from the Quantum Realm, like back with a vengeance. But Hank
Mm.
Pym Yellow Jacket, I did like that reveal better. So
Yeah.
that was good.
I liked that reveal a whole
What did
lot.
you think with
It
the
made me
Mark
really happy.
Ruffalo Hulk thing? And the way he killed them all was perfect.
The way he killed, that was one of my, that was the most
He's the
shocking
most
to
powerful
me,
man alive.
right? And then he's put that little thing that expanded his heart to blow him up. I
Yeah,
thought that was great. I went, that's really
perfect way to
smart,
kill
clever,
someone.
and awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what you do. And
yeah.
I thought that was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. As you know,
Syringe.
disgusting as it was still cool.
Yeah,
Um,
and they don't
and I
confirm
liked Mark
it.
Ruffalo, his voice. I thought he did
Yeah,
great.
it didn't look like him,
Um,
but it's not
it
supposed to
didn't
at
look
that
like him.
point.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think. Yeah, I mean the animation, the design, because Black Widow did not look like Black Widow.
You know who did not
Um,
do a good job in this episode? And it's
m-
just
m-
because he doesn't care anymore, and I'm surprised they even asked him. The
Sam.
animation, no, Sam was good. Sam was good for me.
Okay.
Because half of it he was Loki. So it didn't have
Yeah.
to be like him dirty. It was like the Mendo thing in Far From Home. Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching that movie. I'm like, Sam Jackson's kind of mailing it in for this one. But then when it's somebody doing a Sam Jackson
It's
impression,
revealed.
it's
Yeah.
like, oh nope, that's brilliant. He was a brilliant actor
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
Frank Grillo, Frank Grillo,
Oh
the
yeah.
like it didn't help that the animation made him look really goofy. But even
Goofy.
Sebastian Stan in the first episode, he's another one where they didn't get it with the animation, and he just didn't sound like the character, even
Yeah,
though.
it wasn't the same Bucky.
Same with Benicio in the second episode. Like
Yeah,
that's Benicio. The only time I know that that's Benicio is when he's like Karina, like
yeah,
Karina.
Katarina.
Like that's the only time it sounds like him. But for the rest of it, it's like he's doing this weird cartoon voice, and I don't. I That's got to be a direction because like
Well, it's when
directors
you're
can get good voice acting out of a
yeah, because
person.
voice acting is so different
It's
because and
different
it's all
kind.
about physicality. It's all about physicality. When you're real and in a room, and you're
Yeah,
moving through space, you're gonna sound different when you're in a
yeah,
room talking
mhm,
to a mic. You can, I
yeah.
mean, a lot of good animators or good voice actors will be moving with it and that kind of thing. But in order to
But a
get
good director can
the
still
voice
get that out.
perfect, yeah,
Like you could
they've got
tell
to be able to do
Sebastian
something
Stan,
else.
wear the costume when you come into the booth with us.
Yeah,
Wear the
yeah,
costume when you get, because Tom Hiddleston, somebody like Tom Hiddleston, he can do it. He can do it
he
blind.
would do it.
Because that was
Yeah.
one of those things that they are so blessed that they have Tom Hiddleston. Because one of the best scenes of Loki is Loki watching reruns. And did you see
Mm-hmm.
the behind the scenes for that?
Behind, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they had nothing. They had
yeah.
not.
There's
They
nothing
didn't
there.
have a monitor for him to act off of.
Yeah,
They didn't have anything. And you know what? Shame on them. Horrible
nah.
direct. Bad. No, and I don't even know whether to blame the director or production for that. But as soon as I saw that in like that documentary, I was glad that this director wasn't coming back, because that's just one of those
Mm.
things like George Lucas in the prequels versus J.J. Abrams in the sequels. Tangibility.
Yeah, yeah. Tangibility.
Even if you can add it in post and it looks seamless, which doesn't, the actor's reaction.
Have something.
That's
Yeah.
the best scene in the show. Tom Hiddleston like reacting to all these moments in his life, and he's doing it blind. He's
Mm-hmm.
doing it blind. They're not
Yeah.
giving him any notes. They don't know what they're putting there. We're just gonna put it in
Yep.
post. That was
Yeah.
my biggest problem with Loki, is because it felt like that.
Yeah.
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 But anyway,
Um. Wait. I'm excited for the next one. I'm enjoying this series
I don't even
for
know what
what
it
it
is,
is.
but like I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to
Yeah.
it.
And
Yeah.
and my thing is I don't want to know. I don't want to
Oh, I
see
don't want to know
trailers.
either.
I don't want to see clips. There's nothing. I just
And
want
I
to
know we're
go
getting one with
in
Jordan.
whatever it is.
Like that's what has me
What's that?
excited. I know we're getting one with Jordan at some point,
Yeah.
and he is
Eventually.
a tremendous voice actor. He is a
Yeah.
tremendous voice actor. He got most of his starting in voice acting. He's in
Mm-hmm.
Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. He's Cyborg in that. Like
Cyborg.
that was
Yeah.
like the
He's
first thing
great.
that I remember like seeing him pop up in. Like, oh, this guy. This is a guy
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about, but I haven't seen yet, because I heard about movies like Chronicle and that other one that he did. Um, Before Chronicle. That's what the movie's called, Before Chronicle. The Michael B. Jordan.
Before Chronicle.
Fruitvale Station. That's it.
Fruitvale
Um,
Station. Fruitvale
yeah,
Station.
but
Which
I
is
heard
actually a good
things
film.
about him.
That's a good
Yeah,
film. That's a good movie. That's another Coogler one I'll give him.
Another Ryan Coogler joint. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, um, but yeah,
Cool.
that's what if. I'm looking forward to it moving forward. Now we haven't talked about The Watcher. I like the sort of Twilight Zoney thing to it. I just don't think it works because the whole
I
entire
don't think it
next,
works.
like the
Yeah.
thing.
I don't think it works. I
Yeah.
don't like that. I like The Watcher because I'm a comic fan.
Mhm.
So, but I don't think that they're for an introduction of such a weird character. You're not selling it. You're not doing it
No,
right. Um, I think, and maybe that's because they might introduce him later on in a reality in a film. It could be Jeffrey
I
Wright,
hope
could be
Jeffrey Wright.
whoever,
I hope so,
but
yeah.
I just don't think they're doing this part well. So,
No,
it
I don't.
sounds it's a little too hokey for me.
I like the little where like he pops up with the eyes, like, and he's watching. I like that. But like that
Yeah,
part I
yeah,
like.
the little
But
visual cues are fine, but I would even say don't have a narration. You know what I mean? Just
oh yeah,
have that first narration of, and we ask the question, what
I'm
if? And then we don't hear from him
I'm
again.
okay
And we
with the
see him every
narration.
now and then, cool, but yeah.
My problem is the content of the narration.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I'm
it's
okay
just
with the
it's
narration because
hokey.
like the Twilight Zone thing, like Jordan Peele does those like new episodes, and like he does like
Mm,
the introduction in the intro, like Journey into the World of the Mystery, and that kind of reminds me of this. That's why I like it. It's just the content of what he's saying doesn't work. It's like,
it
ooh,
doesn't work.
there. That's the point where yeah, but it's not.
Yeah,
I mean, you're
it's
lying
not
to us.
exactly.
Come
It's
on,
not.
man. Wait. The
And
TV way before that. But I, I, you said the Watcher from the comics, so he's totally gonna interfere. He says he will not,
probably
cannot, shall not
Natu
interfere.
did
He
interfere.
always
The one that
interferes.
did interfere,
Yeah,
yeah, especially Natu, he does all the time.
yeah.
So
So
we'll
we
see if
get 9
that comes
episodes.
into it later.
Which episode does he interfere?
Yeah, that's the thing. We'll see. I guess we'll find out.
Because you're not casting Jeffrey Wright just to narrate.
No, you're
Especially with
not.
this
Um,
narration.
he could pop. Well, he could pop up in in
Oh, sorry.
what's it called, Multitude of Madness or something,
Multiverse of Madness. Multitude of
yeah,
Madness.
Multitude of
The
Madness.
multiplex of madness.
Multiplex of Madness.
The
The
muscle milk
Doctor
of
Strange
madness.
film. He'll
How
be
far
here.
can we
Yeah,
go with
he'll
this?
be. hmm.
One thing we didn't
Now,
mention as far as
well,
theories go.
we have seen the
Hi,
Watchers
Agamotto.
before.
Oh, we have.
What's
Yes,
that?
Stan Lee on the moon.
That's right.
That was a Federal
They were with
Express
him.
at that time.
Yep.
Yeah, but the Eye of Agamotto. That's another thing I'm playing
Yes.
strange. Now he is wearing it in Endgame.
Yeah.
There's a shot where he's wearing it in Endgame, so it's not. It doesn't throw me off that much. Like it probably
No.
has other mystical properties other than just housing the
The
time
time
stone. So
zone.
it has it. But is that a red flag for you, saying that maybe it's not strange?
No.
No, it's strange. Yeah,
Nah.
I think it's strange.
Yeah.
You're right. He's just arrogant. It's hubris.
Yeah.
He's got a god
It's hubris.
complex.
It's like hubris, and
If any of his surgeries
that's it.
went wrong, he probably blamed the patient.
All right.
Like, is he saying that in the trailer? He's like, no. The problem is you're conflicted about who you want to be. No,
Yeah.
the problem is a teenager said that he made a mistake, and you want to what you should have done is said, hey, you
Reshape
can't
time.
undo all of your mistakes, kid. You know,
Right.
I'll be there.
Exactly right.
You, but you gotta live with this. If you want to
You
crash
gotta live with it, dude.
me for a while, that's fine. I can hide you
Yep.
from the world if you want me to, but you gotta kind of ride this one out. You
Yeah.
can't
You
meddle
gotta
with
ride this one out and
people.
figure it out.
And that's Wong's whole like Wong and
Yeah. Wong says it best.
Baron Mordo.
Don't do it. Too
Like,
dangerous.
are we gonna see Baron Mordo in this movie? Because that was his whole thing. Like you're tampering with the natural order. This is definitely tampering with the natural order. When are we gonna see that guy pop up again?
It would be nice because that's
love
such
him.
a good character,
Chantal's
and
great.
Ejiofor needs some love. You know, needs to
God,
come back.
he elevates everything that he's in.
He's so good. He's always amazing. I love that
That
guy.
Odegaard movie on Netflix, he was good in.
Yeah,
But he's
he was great in that movie.
Yeah.
He's always good.
He's even good in that awful Lion King remake, even though they don't let him sing "Be
Oh,
Prepared."
yeah,
Just he's giving a speech. He's saying it as like a tone poem, like it's like Darth
as a
Maul's,
tone poem. Yeah, a
and then
boring
he just
tone
ends
poem.
it with "Be Prepared."
Yeah,
It's a
it's
great
awful.
song.
It's awful.
Like they have the Nazi march with it in the end.
Right.
Like just do that.
Awful. Yeah.
It looked awesome. Bad guys.
Yep.
Yeah. So, any other interesting tidbits that you thought of this week?
Not really. I mean, just
How you been feeling?
better, good. I'm fine.
Better. Excellent.
Feeling a little congested today, which is weird, but I think it's more sinus based than anything else. Because my sinus has been going crazy.
Because like the barometric pressure here just like dropped or raised.
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys are about to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not you hitting you, but that hurricane coming to Louisiana, that changes barometric pressure all over that section of the country. It's going to affect you, and so it's
100
gonna.
Degrees yesterday. It's like 58 now.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. It swings way too much here.
That's way too. Yeah, that's nuts.
They film
we
a
don't
lot
have
of
that.
I guess though.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Chris Evans.
True.
What more could you ask for? You don't get good weather and
Chris
the number one Chris. You know? Yeah. You don't get both. So
nice.
So yeah, since we have time, let's rank the Chris's.
Rank the Chris's?
Who's your number one Chris?
Of the we're going for just the 4.
The 4. Pine,
I man, I'll be
Pine,
honest with you. Every time
Hemsworth.
I'm watching, the JJ Star Wars or Star Trek, I love Chris Pine. I love Chris
I
Pine,
love
Captain
those
Kirk. I
movies. Those are
love him.
great. I
I
have that
love
costume.
him.
It's
I
great.
love him.
I love the entire
But
cast.
in in and now I can't blame Chris Pine on this one, but Wonder
Wonder
Woman
Woman.
'84. Good God, I hate that movie.
Yeah. That movie
And he
benefited
don't.
from nothing else being out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the only thing. Oh God, I hate that movie so much.
I
They
love
made
that
a
movie because it
reference
got
to it.
hundreds of thousands of
it
YouTube views
oh
the day that
God,
it came out.
yeah. But
You're mad at me for getting YouTube views? What the hell, man?
what the hell? What? I think it depends on what they're in. Oh, somebody already did.
That's
Brian
number one.
ranked them.
Wow.
He put Pine 4 and Pratt as 1.
How
See,
do you put
mine
Pratt one?
changes
You
depending on
must
what
be a
they're
Parks and
playing.
Rec fan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I
it
agree
depends
with
on what
that.
they're playing because
Do you
I
like
think
asshole Evans or like stoic Evans?
um any Evans
Eddie
I
Evans.
like honestly.
Scrambled over
And,
easy.
and that's the same with all of them. I think they're all really, really talented and they can play multiple things. I think
Yeah.
Hemsworth is better when he's doing comedy. So I think
He's great in Star
he's the
Trek.
most limited. Yeah, he was really great, but he had
Yeah.
some great comedic moments in that short scene. Um,
Yeah.
I think he's a little more limited than the other ones. Um, but I don't know. It just depends on what they're doing. I can't
Yeah.
rank them really. I can't.
Yeah.
It just depends
I
on what they're
mean,
doing.
I know I have it Evans and Pine 1, 2. I don't know which one
Okay.
is which one's 2. And then I'd say Hemsworth and Pratt. Even though I really like Pratt, like I'm a big Parks and Rec guy. I loved that show. It's just more. He's there to be Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Like everything that he's there to be Chris Pratt. Where Hemsworth is Chris Hemsworth. It's like, whoa, it's Chris Hemsworth. But like something like Star Trek before he was even noticed, like that
Mm,
was before he did Thor. Like that was during the Thor production. So, something like that. He does good dramatic stuff too when he needs to. And Rush, come on, man, Rush. Hemsworth has Rush. Oh God, it's hard. It's not easy. The
Rush is
Chris
great.
stuff is
That's a
not
great
easy.
film.
Yeah. So
I
so Chris
saw somebody ask me if I've seen
Hemsworth Pratt. Yeah.
Hell or High Water. I really wanted to enjoy that movie more than I did. I thought it was boring. I
Yeah.
mean, straight up, I just thought it was boring.
Yeah.
I wanted to enjoy it, but I think the person who did the best in that movie was Jeff Bridges. To be honest with you.
Agreed. Yeah. There's
Um,
something about Pine. I saw something with Evans the other day where Chris Pine like walks by him at like a Disney thing, and Evans says, "Stop it, you with your blue eyes." It's like, I mean, kinda. Yeah. The guy look. I mean, out of all of them, who looks the most like a Disney prince? It's Pine.
ooh, no, Hemsworth.
Hemsworth is. Oh, Hemsworth, really?
Hemsworth is the prettiest, by hands down.
He's got a wig though. That's a wig.
Even without the wig, though, even with the short hair, he's still that's a dreamy
Because
man.
that's the thing with
Um,
this
that's a
week's
dreamy man.
What If. Like his hair,
Exactly.
gorgeous.
His
He's
hair,
got great hair.
gorgeous.
It's an accurate description, sir.
Yeah. I mean, any of them, if you say, "Hey, I'll switch into their body and face for a day so I
I wouldn't
can
do that.
go meet women," then any of them. But
Now
you're,
you
you're okay.
now you're taking it to the creepy level, Alan. God, I was
If I'm
just
gonna Freaky Friday any of
objectifying
them,
Chris.
if I'm Freaky Friday in any of them, I'm actually gonna do Evans with his Captain America body.
Evans. Here's the thing, though. I don't even know if he like they haven't shown like his body. Oh wait, no, they the helicopter scene. I forgot
The
about the helicopter.
helicopter. That
That
helicopter, boy.
damn, you believe a man can pull a helicopter out of the sky?
That's one of the greatest scenes ever.
Yeah.
I love
And then
that
just
scene.
Bucky's face, like, what the?
What
I can
the
pull a
hell?
helicopter out of the sky. Yeah.
I'll
Any
be
other
honest with you
Christmas
though.
left off?
Sebastian
Yeah.
Stan is a pretty dude, man.
You've
Bucky's a
taken it
pretty dude.
somewhere else. I'm just
I'm taking
ranking
it
the
somewhere else.
Yeah.
I know you're
I
ranking
want
the
to be
Chris's, but
Skywalker
I'll
so
go
bad.
because
I
I
want
loved Falcon Winter Soldier
Oh yeah.
primarily just because I think Andrew Mackie. I think he's great. I like. I'm glad he's coming back for the four for Captain
Yeah.
America 4.
Captain
He's
America.
gonna be our
Yeah.
Captain America, which I'm super happy about.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see what
You
happens
didn't even
with all
mention the
that.
greatest actor of our generation.
The greatest actor of our generation.
Yes.
Who?
Donis Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
He's on
Yeah,
screen for 58 seconds. 58 seconds. Give
yeah.
him an award. Give him an
Do, do
Iron
something.
Man. Iron Man's been Iron Man for all these years. But you
Yeah.
know what? No, he didn't do it right. He didn't go to TV. You go to TV, the Academy
Go to
TV
TV.
is so much more forgiving than the one in
He
movies.
did. He
Cheadle,
did.
thank you, War
Cheadle.
Machine.
War Machine shows up in
Yeah,
Winter Soldier or Captain America,
he got
Falcon and Winter
nominated
Soldier.
for an Emmy. He's
I know.
nominated for an Emmy.
No, enemy.
Greatest actor of our generation.
Yeah. I've always loved Cheeto though. So in
Oh yeah,
almost everything.
Ocean's
So
11.
except
Yeah.
yeah, there's a couple things I refuse to watch that I know he's in. For example, I won't watch that new Space Jam movie, even though I know he's the
He's actually
antagonist.
great. He's great.
But I can't watch that
He
movie. I just
turns.
can't.
All right, spoiler alert for Space Jam. He turns into a CGI monster at the end. It's
Oh,
great. It's great.
nice.
And there's honestly, you can fast forward because there's everything in Space Jam 2 that's good is it is like you could clip out. Like you could watch Space Jam 2 in like a half hour if you wanted to and just
Nice.
But there is one great part with Michael. There's a Michael Jordan joke in it with an incredible cameo. I don't know if you heard of it.
I have not.
Oh my god. The movie is worth it for this one scene.
Okay.
The greatest cameo maybe ever.
Okay.
And it's just so disappointing because after he walks on to the screen,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my god, no, this movie would have been so better with you in it. What are you doing?
Damn it.
We don't deserve you. But yeah, no, it's worth the watch. I will say that much about it.
All right. I'll see. Well, if my kids ever say, "Hey, let's watch this," then we'll go for it. But
Fine. Like,
nah.
what? They it has a good like soundtrack. Like they use like when they do the animated characters, like they use
Mhm.
that 89 score. They use the Superman theme for animated Superman. It really fits. They use the Wonder Woman theme. The yeah. I just got the
The
Wonder
only
Woman
good thing to come out of it.
So I'm gonna.
All right. I gotta break out of here because speaking of the kids, that's all, folks. But my brother was good talking to you about this stuff, so it was good to be here.
Good to see you, bro.